Hi guys, Danny Carlson from Kenji ROI here, and I'm going to show you how to use your new spreadsheets that'll give you a lot more reassurance when you're looking for new private label products, and it'll just save you a shitload of time. Believe me, I spent a lot of time building these things, and they've saved me a lot of time in my own research. So without further ado, let's just go over a quick overview of how to use them. So this is the most important one. This is the true profit calculator. Step number one, you just input your product and your shipping costs. Basically everything you need to get your product from China, from your manufacturer, over into the Amazon FBA warehouses. Step number two is launch services. This is like Viral Launch or Review Kick or any services that you use to give away your product at a discount. This is to get your BSR going, to get your sales velocity going so that you can rank on page one. Step three is your Amazon pay-per-click and your one-time costs. So you have to estimate your PPC costs, how many of your sales come from PPC, what kind of costs are associated with that. And your extra costs are just photography, graphic design, anything you get done by someone else for your first shipment. So I've highlighted everything in red that you have to change yourself. So you input all your numbers into the red fields, and all the rest of them figure themselves out automatically. So let's just start off here and go through it. Revenue is what you expect to sell the product at. So let's just say it's $24.99. Amazon seller fee is calculated automatically off of the revenue, but we need to find the fulfillment fee. And if you look, there's a little one next to the fulfillment fee over here. So if you go over to the explanations on the right, it'll tell us a link to go to that we can find that fulfillment fee. So I have that open over here already. You can input your actual product here. So we're going to pretend we're selling a silicone barbecue glove like an idiot out there. And that it costs $24.99. We'll input that and press calculate, and it'll spit out this. So the selling on Amazon fee is the one that has been automatically calculated in our spreadsheet. We're looking for this one, the fulfillment fee. Fulfillment by Amazon fee is $4.25. So back to our spreadsheet over here. Let's type in $4.25. And prep and inspect. Now this is just for if you use a prep center or something like that to forward your inventory, or inspect it on stateside, then that would be your fee there. If you're not, put it at zero. Supplier cost. This is what you actually pay for the product to your supplier. Quantity, how many you're doing in the shipment, and the China shipping. Let's just say it costs $1 a unit, then it would cost $300 to get it shipped over. And US shipping, this is only if you are shipping from a fulfillment center in the US to Amazon FBA, that final little stint. So that's just, I have a separate box for that there. And the duty rate here, we have to look this one up. So to find the duty rate, there's a cool little hack. If you see the little 2 next to here, you can come over to 2 on the explanations, and you can find this little hack over here. If you search on Google for product name and then site dutycalculator.com, you can actually get around Duty Calculator's payment fee, and you can get a search done for free. So I have that open right here. So silicone barbecue gloves, site dutycalculator.com. What that does is it only shows results for this website, dutycalculator.com. So we click on the top one here. Okay, so it shows us for the United States, there's a duty rate of 10.4% plus 20.07 cents per kilogram, which is a kind of an expensive duty rate. So plus a merchandise processing fee, which is $25. So that's also included in the spreadsheet. We come over here and we go change this to 10.4. Then you can see it calculates our duty rate right here. So out of this, it'll show us our landed cost. So for 300 units, it's going to cost us $1,182 to get this product landed into Amazon. Paid for from the manufacturer, shipped from China to the US, through all the prep and inspect company if you're doing that, and then into Amazon FBA, it's going to cost us that much. That's your most important number here as well. You might also want to look at your ROI. This will be an amazing ROI. 331% is pretty amazing. Obviously this revenue number is a little high, but for this example, let's just pretend we found a killer product. 52% profit margin, that's pretty awesome. Shows, your net revenue. This is what Amazon will actually pay out to you. This is a good number to look at here. So your profit is $13, but your net revenue This is the money you're getting back from Amazon. Very important for cash flow, and we'll get to that in a second with the AMZ payout projection spreadsheet. But now let's move on to step 2. So launch services, you're more than likely going to have to give away some of your product at a discount just to get some momentum going to get your product to rank. So launch units, this is how many units you're going to be giving away. So over here, you'll just type that in. For this example, let's just keep it really simple. Let's just say you're giving away 30 units. You don't need much to get it moving. And then the promo fee, this is per unit. Per unit, you can see this whole row here. How much is going to cost you to give away each unit? Different services have different fees and different ways of doing things, so you're just going to have to calculate that. Let's just say it's $1. And the discount you're giving, usually it's going to be around 70–80%. So let's just say 80% discount. So you can see you're going to lose $7.94 every single time you give one of these things away. So you give away 30 of them, it's going to cost you $238 to give away those units. And then leftover inventory here, it automatically calculates. You have 300 units minus 30 you're giving away, so you have 270 left over. And this kind of shows you the profit that you'll make from those leftover units. So you can still sell 270 at full price, which leaves you of a profit of $3,523. And then this is your profit before PPC. So this is your profit of the leftover units minus the cost of your launch, $238. So this moves you on to step 3 number here. So this is where you have to estimate a little bit. This is the Amazon pay-per-click. So you have to estimate what percentage of your total sales are going to come from pay-per-click. So this is going to vary a lot category to category. So you just kind of have to make your best guess. I usually put in about 30% there. I think 30% of my overall sales are going to come from PPC in the beginning. And at an ACOS, also very dependent on the product. If it's a really competitive product, this is going to be somewhere up near 60, 70, 80% at least. But if it's a less competitive niche, probably 20%, 30%. As a general rule, I just go 30 and 30 as long as it's not too competitive of a product. And then you're left with this number right here. This is how much money you can expect to spend on pay-per-click for this shipment. And extra costs, these are photography, graphic design, copywriting, if you do any of that. If you don't do anything, just put these all at 0 if you're doing it all yourself. And then finally, we come down to the final numbers here. This is everything calculated, getting your product into Amazon, launch services paid for, Amazon pay-per-click, photography, everything. This is what you're left with. You're left with a 32% margin, net profit of $2,400, the Amazon payout of $3,500. This is what Amazon is going to pay you from all of this, and an ROI of 200%, which is pretty good if you ask me. So yeah, that's the basics of it. For more explanations, you can just look over here on the right, and we'll move on to the next step here. So this one is the Amazon payout projection calculator. So what this calculates is exactly what Amazon is going to pay you. So this is not profit. This is literally the payments you're getting from Amazon. So you put in your different products here, product 1, product 2, product 3. Put in the information here. Revenue, how much money it's going to cost. So like our product sells for $24.95. You have to do some math minus FBA fee. So that means that Amazon is paying you out $18.34 for each one of those. Estimate what percentage of sales are from PPC, just like the last spreadsheet. Estimate the ACOS, advertising cost of sale, just like the last spreadsheet. Estimate the percentage of refunds. 3% is a pretty general guideline for refunds. Some products will be more, some less. Once you've inputted all that information, then we come over to here. So these are the payment periods. Usually Amazon does it in 2-week periods. So let's just estimate, okay, first payment period, we're going to sell 200 units. And then maybe next one, we expect it to grow. It's like maybe we're coming into Q4 or something like that, 250. And then maybe we're getting into like really Q4, we expect it to double, like more than that. And maybe 400, but after Q4, let's just assume it's going to drop off pretty significantly, come back down to a regular 200. And you're just going to have to do your best guess. This is not an exact science by any means, but it kind of shows you how much money you can expect from each different scenario. And do the same with the other products. Input your own information here. Make your best guess as to how much you're going to sell within each period based off of whether you're doing a product launch or seasonality and that types of things. And then up at the top here, this is going to be your net payout. This is what Amazon is actually going to pay into your bank account at the end of each payment period. Super, super important information for managing cash flow. Obviously, it's really important. You're like, hey, I found this awesome new product that would really work with our product line and I want to launch it next month. Will I have enough money? Then you can come in here and kind of play around. It's like, oh, well, if I sell 400 units this month, then I'll have, $7,706. But if I only sell, if I drop this down to 200, then, I won't have that extra $3,000 to throw down in that new product. So it's just a really good way to look at that and figure that out. Get a little bit better information there. And the last one I'll go over here, really simple. This is a box conversion calculator. So there's a lot of kind of shitty calculators on the internet that don't do as good of a job. But when you're converting box measurements from metric to imperial, this makes it a lot easier. So if someone gives you centimeters, you can type in centimeters into here, 63, 63, 24, 65, and it'll pump out the inches, and in reverse, 12 inches, 24 inches, it'll punch out the centimeters for you real quick. Same kilograms to pounds, pounds to kilograms. You can even do volume to cube root, and length, width, height, and quantity to create the volume if you're looking for CBM, if you're shipping in containers and stuff like that. Like I said, there's all these calculators all over the internet, but some of them are really crappy, and it's nice to have this all in one place where you can convert box measurements. Alright guys, I know that one was kind of long, so thanks for sticking with me, and I hope this gives you a lot more clarity into exactly how much everything is going to cost, and I hope it saves you some time. So happy selling!